Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Sling Hope. And I got another video for y'all, man. I know it's been a little while. It's been a little hiatus. It's probably been like 7 days or maybe like 2 weeks. Yeah, it's probably like 2 weeks. I did post up another video, but that wasn't really that was just me at the conference. So last week, from March 24th to the 26th, I was at a conference at Columbia University, and I've been going to this conference since I came home. I just recently made 7 years from being home in January 20th. So, I'm saying, shout outs to me. I got off parole, no incidents. I usually make a post on that day to celebrate or to commemorate, the day of my release. This year I didn't really do it. But the conference at Columbia University, this is kind of a conference that changed my life. It opened up a lot of doors for me. It's one of the reasons why I even went to school. The reason I even heard about it was because when I was in prison doing the college program, one of the instructors, she told me about it. She kind of like gave me her number, and she was like, "Yo, when you get out, like reach out. We could go to the conference together." But before I even got to that point, I remember reading a verse in the Quran. It's in Surah An-Nisa, which is chapter 4, verse 75, and it says, "And what is wrong with you that you fight not in the cause of Allah, and for those weak, ill-treated, and oppressed amongst men, women, and children, whose cry is our Lord, rescue us from this town whose people are oppressors, and raise for us from amongst you one who will protect, and raise for us from you one who will help." And I remember reading this verse, and it kind of like made me want to go home and contribute and help out my community and become an agent of change. I didn't think I would be doing like organizing work surrounding like mass incarceration or healing work, trying to like repair the harm that systemic oppression and injustices have caused in our communities. I didn't think I would be doing that type of work. I thought I would just come home, be a regular Muslim, get married, live my life, have children, and just try to preach the good word. But Allah had different things in store. So I went to the conference. At the conference, I met a lot of different people. When I mean it opened up doors, it created a support system for me, especially just coming home. I got my first job through the conference, by meeting people there, by building relationships with a lot of different people who've been incarcerated, who've been to jail. But it was a lot of people doing different things. A lot of people. I'm going to put the link in the chat so y'all can check it out. They have the conference annually. They've been having it probably for like, I think 11 or 13 years. Y'all can check out the information. But the point I'm trying to make, when I went here, I met Angela Davis. If you don't know who that is, well, let me rewind. The Center for Justice was founded by 3 women. 2 of them were formerly incarcerated. Rest in peace, Kathy Boudin, which she's one of the sisters who helped found the Center for Justice in 2014. If you don't know who that is, if you don't know who the Weatherman Underground, these are freedom fighters, man. You need to look into who these people are. May she rest in peace. She passed away, I believe, last year. But look up who Kathy Boudin is, and what is the things that she has contributed to the struggle, to the fight against oppression and injustice. Cheryl Wilkins, the sister Cheryl Wilkins, she was also formerly incarcerated, and Geraldine, I forget her last name. So and the link is going to be in the description, so y'all can check out the Center for Justice yourself. But this is kind of like the conference that I've been going to for the last 7 years since I've been home. For the last 2 years, because of the pandemic, it wasn't, we couldn't meet, so that was unfortunate. But I met Angela Davis here. I met Jamal Joseph. Again, if you don't know who these people are, Google them. Because of the conference, I met my boy Corey, which he's one of the co-founders of Holla, an organization that I worked at for a while. When I first came home, I got like one of my earlier jobs there. And again, all of this was through relationship building, getting to know people. And I met a lot of other people. Because of these relationships that I built, I ended up meeting Herman Bell, If you don't know who Herman Bell is, go Google it. You get what I'm saying? But these are people who've been fighting. Um, I got connected to people who were connected to Eddie Ellis. Again, if you don't know who these people that I'm naming are, look them up. And because a lot of times we don't even know what's going on. We don't even know, like, there has been freedom fighters and revolutionaries fighting for our people for a long time. Even to this day, there's still people who are behind the scenes fighting and organizing and trying to restore their lives from incarceration, and opening the doors and creating opportunities for people like myself who were misguided, who were in the streets, right? Like, think about it. A lot of people come home and they have no idea that there are people out there who are successful, who have felonies, who have records, who are attaining education, who are climbing up the social economic ladder, and who are focusing on creating policy groups to dismantle, the prejudices and the barriers that are in the way when you come home and you have a record and you trying to get housing and you trying to go to school and you just trying to live like a human being that has made a mistake. But society, a lot of times, they hold that against you. They don't allow you to kind of like fully change or fully reintegrate back into society, right? Because again, the 13th Amendment was never really abolished. It says that slavery, you cannot be forced to work involuntarily unless you're convicted of a crime. And then I don't want to go into the whole history of the 13th Amendment and how slavery was just reformed. And if you go to prison today, you're a modern day slave. I said that in other videos. So there's people who are organizing against this type of stuff, organizing against calling people who've been to jail convicts and inmates and prisoners, because it's a inhumane kind of thing. Of course, at one point you might did something wrong, you did your time, but when you come home, the moment somebody calls you an ex-convict, it leaves a negative distaste in people's mouths, right? People are no longer able to see your humanity. A lot of times people don't even care. They don't even care to talk to you. You'd be surprised, like, this is just something small. You'd be surprised, like, just talking to people, the moment people find out you've been to prison or you got a felony, and people automatically start viewing you different. So imagine jobs. Like, I've been there, right, with jobs. I've been there with landlords looking for a place to live, and landlords discriminating just because I got a felony. And it's almost like they're basically saying, like, you don't deserve to live. You don't deserve to have housing. You don't deserve to get a job, to have a livelihood, to feed yourself in a legal way. They close a lot of doors, and then but they also expect you to be a good Samaritan and a civilian, which is very contradicting policies and behavior, right? So it's almost like they want you to remain a second-class citizen and remain committing crimes and remain doing certain things. So it's good to pass along this information. You could share it with people. Like I said, the link is gonna be on the bottom, but like, this just going to this conference changed my life. Being on the campus at Columbia, it helped me want to go to school, right? So I got enrolled. So the event is usually like it used to be 4 days from Thursday to Sunday, but a lot of people come nationally from all over the country for this conference. Most of the people come from California, because California is also a state. I think it's the top state who incarcerates the most people in the country. So yeah, it's a lot of people from Chicago come, people from California, people from Florida, people from all over the country, Connecticut, places where people are doing organizing work against the carceral state, against mass incarceration and the policies that discriminately target black and Latino and indigenous people throughout the country for similar crimes that white people commit to, right? And they don't get persecuted in the same ways. So yeah, it's a dope conference. This year was only 3 days. It was only Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you get to mingle with different people. I was kicking it with with one of the homeboys from LA. It was a good vibe. We had a good time, and we were building, and we were just talking about the work and how do we support the younger people. How do we kind of like try to change the narrative? How do we try to guide the people who kind of like are following in the footsteps of the things that we did, so they could be better, so they don't fall for the same traps we fell for. you know, and I think that's kind of like what building community is about. It's kind of like trying to guide the individuals who are following in the same steps. And if we made a mistake and if we're able to be like, yo, hold up, don't come this way because this is what lies ahead, then, and if we are able to change course, the course of some of these individuals that are following in our steps who glorify the things we did, then we will be achieving something, right? We're not gonna save the world, but it's one step at a time. You could change the perspective and the mindset of certain individuals. So that's what I was doing. Like I said, I don't really be talking about a lot of the organizing through these relationships. I don't know if y'all remember, I used to travel a lot. I was going out the state. It just gives you a change of scenery, right? You meeting people, you meeting individuals that you would have never met if you just doing some regular stuff or if you hanging on the blocks. I've been in rooms with millionaires, billionaires, people who are lobbyists, philanthropists, who fund programs or maybe run foundations that could allow you to get grant money to organize a program that you might have in mind, or you can apply for certain grants and get money. You know, there's a lot of grants that be out there. A lot of times we don't even have this information. We don't know where to get the money from, where do we apply. We not connected. We don't have this type of community. So it's important to go to some of these events, especially for individuals who've been incarcerated, who that's another added roadblock for you trying to get your life together after being incarcerated. So this, I'm very grateful for Katie. Shout outs to Katie. In the center, it used to be called Prison Reentry Institute. But Katie worked there, and she kind of like just my connection and my relationship with her just opened up a lot of doors. I got to meet a lot of people. I got to sit in rooms with people. I got to go to places to like the Harvard Club and be having conversations with people who have the money to lobby politicians, basically, right? Buy policies, votes, whatever you want to call it, or could fund initiatives and programs. So I've been able. I met Brian Stevenson through these relationships. If you don't know who Brian Stevenson is, look him up, right? And there's a countless other people I've met that names escape me, right? I've been in the rooms and conversations with Chris Flowers, Susan Lassen. So it's just a lot of people, right? Like I said, now I just feel like I'm just name dropping. But I've been in conversations with a lot of folks and a lot of people in building and, you know, organizing and, you know, trying to figure out next steps and how do we help the people who is mostly impacted by injustices and systemic oppression. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. So I've been kind of, it's also Ramadan Mubarak for any Muslims who might be fasting. So I just been cruising on cruise control. But let me know what your thoughts are. The link is gonna be in the description. If you want to purchase my book, Who Profits When Black Men Gangbang, the link is also in the description. Make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, and you share. Stay blessed. Peace.